Hey everybody! So I'm back on a Friday to do a Splinterlands Battle Mage Secrets. Now the team asked us to go over Super Sneak, and even though I know not that many of you like this series, I forgot to do it the last 2 weeks because I couldn't actually do the battles on here. But the truth is, you don't have to do the one that they say when you're like me and you just can't get a win on that rule set during the days you play the game. Also, this season's kind of interesting. I'm stuck in Champion 3 and I'm starting to wonder if battle helpers are back because I'm having a tough time. Lots of losing streaks, lots of people playing very, very good teams, reminding me of the battle helper days. But it also just could be that a couple of days of some of these players or a couple of weeks of them playing, they just got good again. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the stars of Super Sneak. So when you talk about the stars of Super Sneak, let's go ahead and reset this. The main thing that comes to mind are monsters with double attacks, monsters with shields, or magic teams. And the reason I'm going to say magic teams really come into play is because sometimes if you're expecting there to be a lot of big monsters on the other side, you're just going to go ahead and just go magic and just blow them all away. So when you go to dragon, you got your double attackers that are interesting and some other monsters that have one other ability I didn't quite talk about, and that's thorns. Now thorns is debatable because if guys use a bunch of shield monsters, even amplified thorns when they have a lot of armor, a lot of life, they're not gonna blow themselves up. But that's where sometimes a magic team can come into play. A Dinchwalla in the last position is a very interesting monster, or even in the first position, just because it is a big tank, it hits hard, and it has a lot of shield. Also, this True Strike is nice, even though Kitty gives True Strike, it still lands that True Strike. Also, the other thing that is really, really crucial in sneak attack modes are ranged monsters with melee. You got things like the Vigilator. You got guys like Agnor. I should just say two attack types. And the new Armor Strike monsters are going to be interesting in this mode as well. You also want, again, monsters with Protect and Shield right here. The Dragon team is just full of great ones. But let's go ahead and go to some of the other honorable mentions when dragons aren't there or you don't have dragons. The new Possessed Puppet's pretty cool. Also, the Puppet's pretty cool because it only has 4 attacks, so it doesn't run into the force field problems. That's the other reason why Carnage Titan was so good. I didn't really harp on that, but we'll go look at it again. He only has 4 attack at max level. There's another new monster that has double attacks, but if you accidentally got it to level 10 like I did, Coastal Sentry with that 5 attack, runs into the card that really is my favorite right now in Super Sneak to throw in the last position, and that is our friend Salty Bear. Archimus the Bear is got the force field. He's got the halving attack, which is kind of nice. He's got the protect, and he has the enrage. He's just a great monster in that last position. If you're going to have a bunch of big attackers coming after him, if they make the mistake of having a lot of 5 attackers, he's just going to be a wall that they can't get to. Also, there's a card that you have to mention here because whenever he can attack from anywhere but the first position, there's a card that lots of people try to lean towards. It looks a little bit like General Sloan, but it's his buddy, Jared Scar. And so Jared Scar is a true striking, piercing through the armor, bloodlusting, just amazing attacker with 7 attack. But again, Salty Bear puts him in his place as long as he is attacking Salty Bear. Knowing that happens, a play and a twist here sometimes you need to do is play these cards in different positions than you'd expect. Maybe put Jared Scar in the first position because in Super Sneak everyone's going to have to be attacking somewhere else. But then maybe you play a card like Izar and just make them taunt somewhere else. This rule set is very interesting because you can try to go a great cool melee team, but really it's going to come down to the teams available, the mana set, and to decide what you really want to do. Do you inspire up a team with a lot of armor and big melee attackers, but then run into a Salty Bear that you can only deal 1 damage to? Oops, you lost. Do you go a bunch of sneak monsters and things like Chaos Knight, who's not a bad monster in the last position, with only that 3 attack, and this only bouncing it to 4, and then you're actually dealing damage and you're in a better position than a Jared Scar in that last position. or even on the board for one less mana. It gets really interesting. It's really a cat and mouse game between what the other guy's going to do. Because also, I just might go, you know what? I'm just going to go Earth. I'm going to put a taunting shield monster in the last position right here. With my Mystic Slip Spawn, I'm going to give it armor. I'm going to put a repair and a triage on the board. And other than that, I'm just going to blow you away with all the green magic and just melt your guys that are shielded and ready for melee to come in. It's a very, very interesting rule set. But now that we've gone over just, some of the key cards, not all of them, I'm sure there's some that I forgot. You can drop them in the comments for people to know about. Let's get into the battle that I wanted to share today. I had a pretty decent one. Here we go. With another card that I forgot to mention here, and that's Jotun. Because when you can splash, you might as well splash. So let's go ahead and get this up, and we'll talk about here some of the key mistakes my opponent made and some of the key great things that I feel like I did here, and maybe even some of the mistakes I did here. So if you look at my team, I did throw my Salty Bear in the back position, ready for those big attacks to come into him and for him to not get hit very hard. Now, next to him, I put Living Lava. Living Lava is another card I forgot to talk about here. Great for a tail end tanking. He's got that shield I did talk about, so loosely referenced him as in a shielded monster. He has the Rust and the Thorns to help take away a protect that they're going to have right here. Right over here, we have the Ferox Defender. I did say repairing monsters with shields and a Shatter. There's that key Shatter there. Now, I didn't talk about him. This was really kind of a throw-in because of the mana. I was being a little dangerous here. If I would have ran into a Thorns team, this would have been not the greatest play. But I was really going for the poison, the big attack for only 3 mana. And then I had Jotun. So why not go ahead and throw the Mirage here just in case, giving me just another type of attack, giving me a nice big archer that can splash some damage around, not take anything on a reflect, which he did end up playing. And then since there was a trample mode, this play was a little bit of a mistake. I threw Disintegrator in the front. The mistake here, this has a Demoralize. I got lucky that this is a 6 and a 7 back here. If this would have been a 5 and a 5 and I would have pushed them down to 4, they could have killed my Archimist Bear a lot quicker. On the flip side, though, they have a nice sniper here. They did go double protect. I only want single rust. They have heals, double heals. I mean, can I get through this shield bearer with this lineup? Well, you saw that I did if you saw me click on the match, but let's go ahead, slow it down, and watch what happens. So we're going to get our buffs in place here. I get that extra HP. They get a good amount of armor. I get a good amount of armor. And we start our battle. Now here we get that reflect for 0. We get a poison right off the bat. But with a cleanse on the board, my poison has been a bit neutralized. There we go though. We see 2 hits for only 1 damage. Now since he has a taunt, we get a halving here, which helps out my Disintegrator. Now we get a repair of armor there to help protect him from the sniper that's on the board. And we're just slowly working through that shield bearer. Now, having that big shatter made a big difference that we got through that quick. You see, again, though, a poison that won't matter. The sniper damage hitting up here. And then we're going to... Where do I have headwinds from again? Oh, yeah, from the Ash Mirage. So right here, I'm lucky. I have this guy's not that fast, even with the Lux on the board, and we have a fast archer. We're able to get him off the board. Now things start to change. Now I actually poisoned a guy where the poison's going to stick. They finally got him enraged. Now we got a halving onto their sniper. That halving is going to make it so that even though my Disintegrator's now gone and these guys can hit kind of harder, we get another key Shatter right here. We get a miss there, but we got that poison in play. We're going to take him out on our first attack. That's going to be nice because it's going to drop down one of those protects. We get another nice sneak attack. Now that armor's gone. We have a nice tanked up armor here. So even though this guy is now hitting for 6, it doesn't matter. And from there, the splash damage is just going to be too much. We're going to end this fight relatively quickly. And in around 5, pretty much beatdown of a game, we get a nice win in a super sneak match. So overall there, I was showing you some of the powerful cards and how they can be used to win a match. It's really nice the team lets us do this and just talk about, this game that we enjoy playing, that we enjoy earning rewards in. Even when you're having a tough season and things aren't going quite your way, you're still earning SPS, you're still earning season chests, and you still have these opportunities to do these posts, throw them on Hive, and get some support from the team. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.